O Great Spirit, Namaste. Saints, sages of all times, of all places, Namaste. O ye pathmakers of old, O ye wise ones of old, O ye beings of the air, the earth, the fire, the water, the ether, Namaste. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. May our time together be blessed. Pour forth thy abundant blessings upon us, that the way be cleared, that the obstacles be dissolved. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Namaste Ji. Welcome. Welcome to my heart and welcome to our Sunday Sangha. Today, we will reflect upon dissolving the root cause of the angers of the mind. A good endeavor, it seems to me. But to begin, we need to understand, you and I, what causes anger to arise in the mind. And what is anger? Well, anger is a fluctuation of the currents that flow through your being. But let's be more realistic. Let's be more practical, more pragmatic. What is anger? Anger is an emotion, an energy that arises in your mind when life is not the way that you think it should be, when life is not the way you would like it to be, when something occurs in life that is less than what you hope for. Many breaths ago, many decades ago, when I was a little girl, just beginning to read, I came to the table one morning for breakfast, and there was a new box of cereal on the table. And on the box of cereal, the back of the box of cereal, was the most beautiful doll I had ever seen. The most beautiful doll. She was so pretty. She had blonde hair, blondish brown hair, and blue eyes. And I could read just a little bit to tell her eyelashes blinked, her eyes blinked up and down. And I wasn't a child that liked a lot of things or wanted a lot of things. I didn't long for very many things. All during breakfast, I kept turning the box away from my brothers and turning it so I could look at her. I finally got up the courage and I said, "Oh, Mommy, this dolly is so beautiful. Do you think there's any way that I could have her?" So Mommy picks up the box and she sees that it's bought with S&H green stamps. I don't know if you remember what those are, but they were stamps that you collected when you bought things, and you put them in a little book. And then you could redeem them for the price of mailing. Whatever the thing is that you wanted to buy, you could get it. It wasn't like sending just cash in, so you had to buy all their cereal. She said, well, Francie, I think we can, but it's going to be a while. Because, it takes this many S&H green stamps, this many books, they were called. I said, okay. Well, what about the mailing? We've got the money for the mailing. Okay, just trust me. But it's going to take a while. Next day, Mommy, when do you think I'm going to get the dolly? Am I still going to get the dolly? Yes, Francie, you're going to get the dolly. You're going to get the dolly. It's going to be okay. Well, this went on for months. And every day, I remember this so clearly, just as if it were right here now. Every day I would come down and look at the cereal box. And every time Mom bought something that we could put in the book, the S&H stamp book, I would get to put it in. And I'd count. But it wasn't very long, my beloved, before I started worrying. What if they ran out of the dolls? What if other little girls wanted what I wanted and there wasn't enough? What if we didn't have a chance to save enough before they ran out? Oh, and I would worry. I would worry before I came down for breakfast. I would worry every time Mom went to get a new box of cereal to see if she was still on the boxes or if they had changed it. She was still there. They knew what they were doing. But the desires in my mind for this thing was the first time in this incarnation that I remember feeling a strong, strong desire for something. But that became linked to worry. What if there's not enough? And then I started thinking, well, maybe there are other girls who deserve her more than I do. Maybe there are other girls who are better than I am, who deserve to have this dolly. And all of these thoughts rose in the mind and rose in the mind and rose in the mind. Skip to the end of the story. And there was a day that Mom had enough, and we mailed off the S&H green stamps with the money. And then my worries changed. Well, if they had enough dolls, what if the doll got lost in the mail? What if it got damaged in the mail? And all the worries picked up, again, in another form. The dolly did come in time. And until about 2 years later, when I gave her away to another little girl, I had that dolly. I had that beautiful little doll with her clothes, fresh and new, and she could still open and close her eyes. But every time I think of her, my beloved, every time I think of her, I think of all of the fears that were built up. I enjoyed her so much. She was so beautiful. With all the love, there were fears. What if there isn't enough? It's taking too long. There's not going to be enough for me. Other people they will be more important than me. They will have to get what I want. And no matter how much Mom kept reassuring me, it's going to be fine, we're going to get the doll, my worry would continue. And the longer it went on, the more my worry increased. The longer it went on, even though Mom would say, oh, we're saving, it's going to be fine, we're going to get it. Yes, you're going to get the dolly. the more that it solidified in my mind, and the more reasons I had that I wasn't going to get it. So the emotions that rose then became fear, became disappointment. No reason to be disappointed. And then arose anger. Well, why should they get it before me? I'm sure there's plenty of other little girls that are getting this doll before me. Now, I'd like you to take a minute. Just a minute. I'm going to turn the camera towards the altar. And I'd like you to take a minute, shut your eyes, and allow to arise in your mind a time in your life when you desired something, but you didn't get it right away. Now, what did you see? What did you see that happened when you desired something and it was not instantaneously fulfilled? Can you hold that memory in your mind's eye? And then can you see how your mind reacted? Can you see the emotions that arose in the mind because there was something you so deeply desired that didn't manifest at that time? The causes of anger are very simple. The causes of anger begin with desire. You want something and it's not fulfilled. Your desire is not fulfilled at this moment. You have a desire, it's not fulfilled at this moment. And then you see someone else getting what you want. And it looks like they got it like this. Looks like they got it just like that. You don't see all the karma, all the work that they did to manifest this, all the time that they waited to manifest. So somebody else has something that you want. What's the answer? Don't be jealous. Say, oh, I see. If they got it, so can I. If they became wise, so can I. If they became happy, so can I. If they were down and depressed and discouraged, but they lifted themselves up, so can I. What happens when your mind is depressed? It's depressed because it's angry. There's deep-seated anger when we have depression. That anger is simply, life is not the way that you dreamt it would be. That in your dreams and your desires, it is not the way at this moment that you wished it would be. And so when you have a moment of love and joy and happiness in your life, sup upon it. Enjoy it. Sup upon it. And when you come to a valley, be lifted by the awareness that that joy exists at the same time, and that you can lift yourself up out of the valley, and that in time you will lift yourself up out of the valley. The desire is what causes anger. Desire that we do not have that which we want at this time. Jealousy that others have what we want, and we think they got it right away. All right. What causes anger? Our sense that life is unjust, that life is irrational, This is not true. Life is very, very, very orderly. Aham brahmasmi. That which you create, you draw into your life. That which you are relative to, you draw into your life. Oh, that's hard, isn't it? It's very, very, very hard. And my guru, Swami Pranananda, would say that we must realize that there's not only the karma, our individual karma, but there's the group karma. There's the karma of the planet. And so we have a hierarchy of karma. There's the karma of the universe, the macrocosm. There's the karma of the planet Earth. There's the karma of the location you are on the earth. We have upon the earth divided the land and part of the waters into artificial barriers, artificial borders. We call them countries, and we have come to possess them. And we say that today this land is possessed by Mr. X. 100 years ago, the land was possessed by Queen Y. 1,000 years from now, it will be possessed by Peter J. But we become locked into the idea that this is ours, this belongs to this group. And we act accordingly. Not wise, but the way life has manifested for most people upon the earth. Do not let it do that for you. Know of the hierarchy of karma. There's the hierarchy of the place. There's the hierarchy of the time. And then there is always the hierarchy of the organization, the hierarchy of the race, the hierarchy of the culture, if you will. So you have this grouping that's been created of people. And in the grouping of people, you may have a leader. It doesn't matter if it's a monastery, an ashram, a lineage, a country, a government, a company. There is always one soul that is the oversoul for that time period, where their karma is linked to all the karma of the whole group. The whole group karma is linked to them. So what does this mean to you? Don't be hooking up with groups. Be very careful about the groups that you hook up in with. Be very careful to be aware. When I say careful, live your life with awareness. Live your life with prudence. Live your life with wisdom, with non-judgmentalness. Letting go of the ego desires. Letting go of the fears that arise with those ego desires. How different my experience would have been if I had seen that image of the doll and she was there. I wouldn't have learned. I would not have learned what I know today. When I came to meditate to prepare for today's teaching, I was amazed that her vibration, her aura, if you will, came to me. And I was blessed because it was the first remembrance in this incarnation of the way that desire affects the consciousness of our minds. You are not your desires. You may feel like you are, but you're not. You're not your hatreds. You're not your preferences. You're not your biases. You're not your prejudices. They are with you, And they will come and cling to your consciousness as long as you allow them. You must let go of the ego concerns to find happiness, to find joy, to find santosha, to find contentment. In the midst of war, in the midst of imprisonment, in the midst of famine, in the midst of hunger, in the midst of cruelty, it is possible for you to stop. To stop. To not participate. To turn around in consciousness and bless. And bless, and bless, and bless, and bless. But first, you must let go of your jealousy. You must let go of, really, the mystical way of looking at it is letting go of the egocentric views of the mind that say, my way is the right way. My way is the only way. What would happen? Stop and think. What would happen if instead of bulldozing a town down, you stopped and thought, oh my, how many thousands of people are going to be without food, without water, without shelter, are going to be afraid, are going to be injured, are going to die, are going to lose their lives because of this? Perhaps you wouldn't act the same. Now, I know you're going to tell me, you're not bulldozing any towns down. You're not causing any harm. You don't have that power. Oh, really? Really? When was the last time, my beloved, that you spoke to someone carelessly? That you said something that might have stuck with them for 20 years, 30 years, 60 years? I remember the other night, after coming out of meditation, a comment that somebody that I worked with, I didn't know very well at all, that somebody said to me in the 1990s, the early 1990s. Oh, that's a little bit of a time ago, 30 years ago. And I remembered the tone, and I remembered the look on his face, and I remembered the shock that I felt. And I thought, oh, I must forgive that person. In 1,000 years, I'm sure that he would not remember what he said. That would not have been on his consciousness after he walked away. He wouldn't remember it. But I did. And it caused me to think, be careful with your words. Be careful with your voice, your tone of voice. Now, there's some suggestions to be made. And you may say to me, well, I'm not really angry. I don't feel that I get angry. If that's true, if it's true, or you can say, I only get angry when I see something unjust in the world. I only get angry when I'm jealous of someone. But most of the time, people say to me, it's when I see things that I think are not just. Something has happened to somebody, and I don't think that that's just. It should not have happened. We have to be able to say, all right. How do I know? The laws of karma, the laws of cause and effect. It's not a matter of just, it's a matter of cause and effect. If I put poison in the water and drink the water, I'm going to drink the poison. If I poison the air and I breathe the air, I'm going to have the poison from the air. Don't poison your mind. Don't poison your mouth. Don't poison your words. And be very careful, very, very careful to not mow down the town with your thoughts, with your words. There are emotions that manifest when anger is not properly resolved. And let me just listen to these and see if anything rings for you, rings a bell for you. Shut your eyes for a moment and see if they ring a bell. Frustration, impatience, discouragement, fear, inadequacy, jealousy, disappointment, suspicion, hostility, guilt, rejection. What causes these to arise? The first is what I said just a moment ago. Your idea that there is some injustice has been perpetrated. You're hurt because life has not turned out the way you want it at this time, at this moment. Annoyance. Again, that's, they're not doing it the way I want it. Did you see what color they painted their house? And frustration. Why is this taking so long? I've tried and tried and tried. Why so long? They can all be released. They can all be released by changing your view, your kaleidoscope. Change your prism, my beloved. And I might say, well, change your attitude. And yet that sounds sometimes to me, that phrase sounds so trite. Because really, what we're saying is that when you have that experience, mystically, it means that you have locked into a state of consciousness. Again and again and again and again. You've locked into it. And you've chosen to not let go of it. Now you can say, well, I can't let go of it, hon. Really? Of course you can. You've got methods. Use neti, neti, neti. Use neti, neti, neti. I'm not this thought. I'm not the thought thinking this thought. I'm not thought. But your mind may not want to let go of it. Oh, no. Your mind may not want to let go of it. What does that have to do with anything? It's just the emotions that have come to take up residence in your mind at this time. It's only your emotions, that's all. Your emotions, which are linked to the memories and experiences of the past. Let go of the emotions and ascend to the feeling state so that you can see clearly the reality, so that you can see life clearly, so that you realize, that little 5-year-old girl who longed day after day after day after day after day for the dolly, which finally came, would not long for the dolly on the cereal box today. That's, was actually able to give it away. Took a long time, but was actually able to give it away. No, you're not that. You're not the emotions. You're not what you were in the past. You're not what you were 30 seconds ago. Attitude is linking your consciousness to a thought. Thoughts are eternal. Thoughts are immortal. They only come to you. That which you are relative to comes to you. Thus, be clear. Become relative to the noble thoughts, to the thoughts that are helpful to you. And you will let go of these emotions, all linked to anger, all manifesting in one way or the other. And anger is just so simply, you do not think that life is the way that you perceive that it should be. That's why we have wars, my beloved. That's why we have humans killing and hurting each other. And it is not just the physical killing that is occurring. It's not just the maiming. It's not the physical hurt. It is also those cruel things that we think about others, those cruel things that we say about others, the cruel ways that we behave towards others. Yeah, you can say, well, what's worse? None are good. But spiritually, the answer is the thoughts are far more powerful. You can torture somebody with your thoughts and your words for decades and decades and decades. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Night and day, you can be of torture to them because of one thing you've said or because of your continual thoughts that are hurtful. Or your insistence on holding on to your right position. Let go of that. And my guru used to say very frequently, do you want to be right? Or do you want to be happy? I say to you today, do you want to be right? Or do you want to be happy? And your answer to that, if you say, I want to be happy, you have to ask yourself, well, what am I doing? What thoughts am I holding on to? What beliefs am I holding on to? What views am I holding on to that are stopping happiness from flowing into my life? And then if you're particularly honest and you say, no, I'd rather be right than be happy, well, at least you know where you stand right now. I don't recommend it, but at least you know where you stand. And then you'll have humor and laugh and say, well, I'd rather be miserable as long as I'm right. No, netty. But if you have the courage to say that, to say, well, I've got to be right, I've got to be right. Okay. You see where your consciousness is, and you can work towards change. So someday you wake up and say, I think I would like to be happy. I think I will let go of the righteousness of my position. And then, my beloved, then you step away from the group karma that says everything has to be X, Y, and Z. You step away from that. And you begin to walk more strongly, more clearly, the path, your spiritual path to enlightenment. When you step away from the idea or the series of ideas that are all linked together, the grouping of ideas, that you must be right. Then, when you step away from that, then you will walk the road to your enlightenment, to freedom. But to do that, you must give up the anger that lies within. Now in 3 days, October the 2nd of this year, we have a solar eclipse, 10:45 Central Standard Time, AM, I think it is. A solar eclipse in Libra. Now, this is a time of an extra emphasis on new beginnings. It is also a very special day, celebrated worldwide, which is the day of the honoring all of our ancestors. All of the ancestors, not just yours. But if you remember with our meditation last week, we were honoring your ancestors. This is honoring all ancestors. All teaching lineages, every teacher that you've ever had, every lineage of all of your friends, everyone who has gone before you, friends, family, loved ones, ones you don't know but have helped you, of honoring all those souls. And so I call upon you and say today, remember on that day. And the Swamis of the Temple of Kriya Yoga will be having a death rebirth ritual at noon that day. And you will receive the link. If you wish to join us, you are welcome to do so. But it is a day that we will be honoring all those who have departed, and particularly those ancestors who have come before us. Now, in our meditation today, I'm going to ask you to join with me in prayer. And there is much to offer our meditative prayer for today. Around the world, there are many, many, many natural disasters occurring. I guess is how some people would say it. Mother Earth is shaking and trembling. And there are many disasters that are many events. We shouldn't name them disasters, but many events that are causing difficulty for the animals, for the trees, for the plants, for the birds, for the humans. And so we'll come together today and ask that you join with me in sending your blessings as they are needed the most today. And as we do this, understand, the root cause of our anger is very simple. It's an error in thinking, my beloved. That which you wish to manifest in your life, you can manifest. You will manifest at the right time, in the right way. The cure for anger, one of the greatest cures for anger, is patience. If you wish something deeply enough, it will manifest. The key is you have to wish that one thing. You have to want the dolly on the cereal box. And in time, it may seem like an eternity, but in time, it will manifest. You can't want the dolly on this cereal box and the truck on that cereal box and the spinning top on the other cereal box. One thing. And let it be to find your own enlightenment, your own illumination. Namaste, Ji. Sit with your spine erect and your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and the thumb together. Cupped upward upon your thigh. Focus your attention at the sun center, the point between your eyes, with the eyes closed. Turn your head to the left and exhale twice. Bring the head back to the center and begin to watch the breath. Use the sipping breath, sipping as through a straw, to draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk. Again, use a sipping breath. Draw the energy from the trunk of the body to your spinal column. From the base of the spine to the sun center. Move that energy out in front of your mind's eye as a golden ball of light. Expand that light and sweep around your body, moving to the left, counterclockwise. Encase your body in golden light 3 times. Expand that golden ball of light. And now ascend. Ascend upward. Ascend to the high place. Reaching the high place of meditation. Find yourself in your meditative place. In your mind's eye, you see a mountain. Halfway up the mountain is shining a brilliant light. Ascend towards the light. Ease towards the light. Reaching the light, you find it is coming from a shrine cave built into the mountain, a shrine built into the mountain. The light is brilliant. You enter the light, breathing in the light, responding to its call. It is perfect for you. You walk to the back of the cave, and there's a waterfall of light. You first walk into the pool of light. stepping into the pool that leads to the waterfall. And all of the old begins to dissolve away, first from your feet, and then moving up your body as you are submerged in the pool of light. Walking through the light, you come to the waterfall and stand beneath the light. Pouring over your crown center, pouring through you, pouring in you. Te Betsu Devaya, Te Betsu Devaya, Te Betsu Devaya, Te Betsu Devaya, Te Betsu Devaya. All of the old dissolving away. All of the old karmas dissolving away. Breathing in the light. Accept the blessings of the light. Walk forth from the light into the pool of light, clothed anew, your entire being refreshed. As you leave the shrine cave, the light radiates forth. The mountain is filled with light. You return to the high place of meditation. At this time, there is a circle of the Sangha, the meditators, those who are seeking their own enlightenment. those souls sending forth blessings. As you wish, join the circle. As we send forth our blessings, we will use the Om Shanti mantra. As you chant the mantra, feel the golden dewdrops of Shanti, of Anandic bliss, pouring down upon those souls for whom we are praying. Send forth your spiritual energies. For your blessings do matter. O ye powers that be, thou knowest better than we what is needed. As we send forth our blessings, let us place aside our own desires as we turn unto thee, that these blessings go where they are needed most, in the way and the time that they are needed. O ye powers that be, send forth thy blessings with us to Mother Gaia, upon whose bosom we live, within whose aura we reside. May we walk ever more softly in her presence. May we be ever more aware of her needs. May she be blessed at all levels of her being. May our gratitude for our lives here radiate forth at this moment. And let us chant the Om Shanti mantra 3 times, feeling the golden light pouring down upon Mother Earth. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O ye powers that be, send forth thy blessings for all of those souls who are living with uncertainty at this time. Environmental uncertainty, water uncertainty, food uncertainty, housing insecurity, health insecurity, economic insecurity. For all of those souls who are living today, whose beings may be shocked by the changing conditions of their lives, whether it is through hurricanes or tornadoes or floodings or bombings or wars or imprisonment or hospitalizations. Whatever the needs, may they be blessed. Let us chant again 3 times. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And 3 again. Radiating forth the golden light with the Shanti. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And yet again. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O ye powers that be, at this moment we send forth our blessings, that all of the beings who are leaving the earth remember their goodness, whether they have left or are leaving abruptly or over time. May they remember their good deeds and keep that with them in their next incarnation. For all of those who are entering into new incarnations upon the earth, may they bring forth the memories of their goodness from their past incarnations and grow and flourish that goodness in this incarnation upon the earth. May the comings and goings be blessed. May those helping in the comings and goings be blessed. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May the golden dewdrops of Anandic bliss pour forth upon your crown center at this moment. Feel them filling you and pouring forth and radiating through you and over you and within you and filling you. Thou art that. Ananda, 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 da, da. Harahit Om, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Namaste. Namaste. Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you for your blessings, for your meditative energy, for joining with us today. Be thou blessed. You are blessed. Continue to be a blessing unto all of those who enter your aura. With each breath that you breathe, remember to stop and send forth blessings, for it is needed at this time. Namaskar.